In this next segment, we'll get him breathing right. We'll calm the guy or gal down for you. Don't you hate when you get into an Uber and the guy's upset about something that has nothing to do with you? First you think it's you. Then you go, I didn't do anything yet. I just got here. And upset like unbelievable. And now you're like, what's going to happen? He's going to have a car accident. Something bad is going to come out of this. He's going to miss the turn. He's going to go the long way. Because he's going to be all passive-aggressive. Say, oh boy, I wish Sasha Yakovleva was in the Uber with me. You'd be able to help me out with that guy, wouldn't you? We'd get him breathing right, wouldn't we?
Hi, Ed.
Wouldn't we? And would we get him breathing right, that guy? I'm sorry, hi. Hello, Sasha.
I certainly would try to do that. Yes, it's a good idea.
Are you good at that in public? If somebody is flipping out at the supermarket, yelling, causing, my mother used to say, causing a scene. They're causing a scene now. Everybody's watching, looking, staring. Nobody knows. Are you good at going in there and calming them down, talking about breathing and such?
Well, I wouldn't talk about breathing at this moment, but I certainly would try to calm down this person by changing my breathing patterns.
You would?
By breathing,
you would?
Yes, I would.
You would? You would?
Yes,
you
absolutely,
would.
because...
Yes, because. Go ahead, because...
Because we do impact each other by our breathing patterns. So let's say that someone is screaming at a supermarket, causing a scene. This person is hyperventilating, and his breathing patterns are affecting mine. They're actually affecting breathing patterns of everyone in this supermarket. To overcome this problem, to compensate for it, we need to change our breathing patterns and make them more peaceful, more harmonious, and that will affect the person who is screaming.
Wow. So that
hopefully.
that hopefully is right, or else they're going to wind up giving you a sock in the jaw. But you know what I do like? This is kind of like what Gandhi did, right? Gandhi would face... discord, threat, whatever. He would face it with slow breathing and centering yourself to distance and not be drawn in by the conflict.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and I'm very glad you mentioned Gandhi, because what we are discussing right now is ancient knowledge. And it was very well known in India, for example, and many other countries as well. And yet modern scientists are just rediscovering it.
Do you believe in the power of empathy?
Absolutely. Breathing, we do impact each other with our breathing patterns, but if we love someone, if we like someone, or if we care about someone, our breathing impacts this person much, much more.
Now, some breathing that is animated, accelerated, if you will, does bring out optimum performance, correct? An athlete, a strenuous exercise. Am I right? There is a place for fast, quick breathing, isn't there?
I agree with you. It's totally appropriate to breathe through the mouth and breathe as much as possible if it's just for a short time. So if you need to perform really well for a short period of time, it's okay to breathe like that, because this breathing pattern should be used during stressful situations. However, if a person breathes like this on a regular basis, then this breathing pattern impacts overall health very negatively.
And
yes.
Just so that we understand the science of it, not too technical, but a deep breath takes in more oxygen and allows slower breathing allows more of the oxygen to be absorbed.
Well, it's not necessarily deep or shallow or slow or fast. It just, what's matter is how much air we consume per minute. And what I'm saying, by the way, it's not what I invented. It's the result of more than 60 years of scientific and clinical research by Russian doctors. So when people breathe normally, they consume about 6 liters of air per minute. But most modern people hyperventilate, and they consume 10, 15, or even 20 liters of air per minute. And counterintuitively, it doesn't increase oxygenation of the whole body. It actually decreases it. So more air we take in, less oxygen our bodies are able to utilize, because the level of carbon dioxide in the lungs determines how much oxygen we can use. So even if we inhale somehow tons of oxygen, if the level of carbon dioxide in the lungs is low, we won't be able to utilize much of it.
Wow.
And to increase the level of carbon dioxide in the lungs and consequently to increase overall oxygenation of the body, we need to breathe less, not more.
And that is what? Because breathing less does what?
Breathing less increases the level of carbon dioxide in the lungs, and that allows the body to utilize, as I said, more oxygen, because the level of carbon dioxide in the lungs acts as a regulator for how much oxygen we use. So coming back to this story about a man screaming in a supermarket and people observing this scene, what's going on there on the level of breathing is that the man is hyperventilating. He's breathing deep, most likely. He's breathing fast. He's breathing excessively. And his breathing patterns are affecting everyone around. So everyone around starts breathing a little bit more, or maybe much more. And if there is a person in that crowd who really cares about this man, then his breathing patterns would affect this person even greater. And most likely this person will start hyperventilating as well.
You may have.
It sounds very confusing.
No, not really. I think I've got it. I'm gonna try to use, I think, what you're saying in the explanation of this article that we're looking at here. When lovers touch, their breathing and heartbeat synchronizes. Now, this is something important. The pain going down, this was delivering babies, right? The husband is in the delivery room. He's holding the hand of the woman delivering, and she tolerates the pain much better. Now, they call this an analgesic effect, okay? An analgesic effect. But my question to you, in your intuition, is this a placebo effect? Or is it really a chemical reaction that is physically happening and also making people feel better? You see what I mean?
Yes, I understand your question. Well, my answer is not going to be based on intuition. It's actually going to be based on scientific research, as I said, which was conducted by Russian medical doctors. So when people touch each other, they synchronize their breathing patterns. And breathing patterns affect, or they greatly determine how we feel. and they also influence or change our perception of pain. For example, people who consume very little air are much less impacted by pain compared to people who hyperventilate. For knowing that, in Russia, often, let's say, doctors who were trained in the Buteyko method do breathing exercises with patients prior to their surgical operations, because breathing class could act as a painkiller and also accelerates healing. So when two people, let's say husband and a wife, touch each other, and maybe the wife is in pain, if the husband is, if he really wants to help her and he's in a peaceful state of mind, then their breathing patterns become synchronized, and the woman will start breathing less, and therefore she will be less in pain.
You are so good as a teacher. Do you teach in addition to writing? Do you ever conduct classes or lectures?
Thank you. I do teach. Yes, I teach people all over the world through the internet. In fact, I just finished a session in Sweden before your call, and earlier this morning I was teaching a 4-year-old boy in New Jersey, and I'm in Colorado.
Wow. Well, I will tell you, it is a joy to have you on a technical subject that you go through so carefully with us and help us understand. I have a couple of more questions. First thing, in the concept of empathy, there is a scale of empathy, right? Some people very empathetic, some people very difficult to be expressively empathetic. They may feel things difficult for them to express. Does the culture one comes from have an impact on the effectiveness of this? So when I think of Europeans, very emotional, and then I see Eastern European, and they're very, yes, welcome, you can come in, nice to see you. And the other, it's great to see you, how are you, how have you been? And the other one, it is great to see you. It has been so long. Mm-hmm. So with those two different types of energy, does it have an impact on the effectiveness of this?
I'm sorry, I was really enjoying listening to your description, and as a result of it, I forgot.
No, we're comparing. You're so funny.
Of what?
Bless you. Oh, bless your heart. I love you. You're going to be my favorite audience member now as well, because you listen to me so much. All right, here we go. You got one who is a little bit reserved, and you have one who is very gregarious and outgoing. So the question is, can both personality types have the empathic analgesic effect, even if one is low-key and one is high-key?
I see. Okay. Well, I evaluate everything from the perspective of breathing or breathing patterns. So it doesn't matter to me much how people express themselves. What is important for me is how their breathing expresses itself. So breathing patterns don't lie. They always say the truth. For example, a person might pretend being very emotional, but it's just a pretend. A person is not, and breathing patterns will, a person is rather aloof or reserved maybe, and the breathing patterns could show that, and the other way around. So I don't really think that it matters so much how people express themselves on the emotional level.
Right.
I think what really matters is people's genuine motivation and their genuine emotions.
Wow. Sasha,
Because
beautiful.
you see, if I see someone in front of me and I don't express my emotions at all, but I sincerely wish happiness and everything the best to this person, my breathing patterns will express it, and this person will feel it on some level.
Wow. I mean, it just is extraordinary. So, I thank you for this great discussion, but I do have a couple of insight questions I would like to ask you outside of your expertise, but just because of your background. How long have you lived in America?
18 years.
Perfect. Oh, my God, that is perfect. So when you see in the last year, every time you turn on the television, the Russians did this, Donald Trump did this with the Russians, the Russians said this, then the Russians said that. Did you know about this Russian? Oh, well, he went to a meeting with the Russian. Oh, they have a beautiful Russian lawyer. Then they have Vladimir Putin. He is very old school, tough guy. You must laugh at the varying perceptions of Russia everywhere you look on television. How does this look to you? You're not an expert. I'm not asking you for expert political analysis, but you must be amused at so much the Russians said. The Russian lawyer did this. For years and years, nothing about the Russians. Occasionally, every time you turn on the TV now. How does this strike you as a born Russian, and now you are happy to be here in Colorado?
Ed, first of all, I'd like to say that I'm really grateful for this question, because I've been thinking about it a lot, and I actually would love to use this opportunity to express my feelings. Unfortunately, within the last year, it became common to say only negative or insulting things about Russians. And I found it being very unfair, because the Russian culture also has a lot of wonderful things we can share with the whole world. And the breathing normalization method, for example, is one of them. However, it's almost unacceptable now to say anything positive, anything good about the Russian culture or Russian people. And I just wish that it would change one day.
Well, I have...
And no, I'm not amused by it. I'm just trying not to be sad about it.
Correct. No, believe me, I hear... Well, my heart broke while you were speaking. I get it loud and clear. The one good ray of hope we have is America, as you've noticed, change is always underway. So when it looks dark and it looks unfriendly, a little bit of time and you will see the change come. But it is true. And this is ironic. What you are saying is so beautiful, because if you notice, anytime President Trump says anything nice about Russia, all of a sudden, the people who used to say that they want to be friends with them for years and years say, oh, why is he saying this? And you said it beautifully. The Russian culture, the endurance of the Russian identity, has been a gift to the world, along with the Chinese, ancient Chinese, the ancient Europeans. All have remarkable, durable, positive, loving, cultural gifts to share. And it's a great tragedy. You know, when I was a little boy, it became all about the bombs, you know. We have bombs, they have bombs, bomb. Well, we got past the bomb talk, which was fascinating. I was a young talk show host, they're really moving past. But this, what is going on now, Mr. Trump knows this. All international travelers know. There is the media version of a country. Then there is the country when you set foot and you shake hands and you break bread together. And Mr. Trump knows this. He's been all over the planet, never mind just Russia. So I think he will continue to say, why can't we work together? Why can't I become friends with him? With everybody saying, oh, this is doom and gloom. The doom and gloom is short-sighted. It is shallow. The endurance of a nation like Russia is something to be proud of. Now, everybody has their misbehaviors by their politicians. America has had plenty. No nation is immune from bad behavior of its politicians. But we should never confuse the politicians with the people who grow the food, who build the homes, who live together and sing together and live a life together. Am I right?
Yes, I absolutely agree with you. And in general, I just don't think that it's the right thing to color any nation or any person into one color. You know, no one is just black or just white. There is no nation which is just bad or just good. Every person and every nation has good sides and bad sides. It's a mixture. So I think it's better to admit it and at least try to be objective.
All the way. And you, I must say, are a beautiful ambassador for your history and your heritage, and also your excellence in your work, which you know, I don't have to say to you, you know the heard for years, the West always assumes that when it comes to academia, that the Russians and the Chinese, etc., will be great, taken for granted. Should not be taken for granted. It is a great commitment to discipline of what Russian technology did, albeit, you know, arms race, take it out of it. Maybe we talk just visiting space. But discipline, it brought great rewards, and we have a lot to learn from each other. You are so awesome to do this with us today. I thank you so much, Sasha. I always enjoy having you on the show. Today was especially enjoyable for all of us.
Thank you very much, Ed. I enjoy your show, and I'm very grateful for you for your invitation to the show. Thank you.
I look forward to the next time as well. Have a great day. What website am I sending people to? breathingcenter.com, and they can reach out to you?
Yes.
Excellent. Excellent.
breathingcenter.com.
Very good. Mm-hmm. You got it. Thank you. Her latest book is Breathe to Heal. Sasha Yakovleva, our guest. The book is called Breathe to Heal. Break Free from Asthma. She also has instructional DVDs called The Breathing Normalization Method, and she has a CD called Breathing Normalization Meditations. All of this available right now to you at www.breathingcenter.com. It is the Ed Tyll Show on Starcom Radio Network.